This video is still on the chapter of vectors in vector spaces, but now we are changing the subject to hyperplanes and lines in the Rn space. Okay, so in this couple of videos we will be presenting some new notation. So the very first one will be a point. So if we have a space, P will be a point. So according to the dimension of the space, we will have n coordinates, okay, a1, a2, an. So this is a point defined this way, P of ai. So for instance, if we are in R2, a point here will be x and y, right? Or we prefer this notation x0, x1, okay? So this will be a point, okay? Or point x0, x1, okay? So this is nothing else but the coordinates, okay? In this case, in the particular case of R2. And the other tool we are going to use are vectors, right? Where the vectors will have n coordinates, right? So this vector will have v0, v1. Okay, so these ones are the components, okay, of the vector. Okay, so we have to make a distinction between this point here and a vector. Okay, so this vector, we will be considering the vector from the origin. So for instance, if this is vector 1, 1, okay, so 1 to the right and 1 up, 1, 1. If this is vector 1, 1, we are considering from the origin, right? So at the end of the day, this is nothing but 1 minus 0, 1 minus 0, okay? We are considering this point. So we are going from the point 0, that's the point 0, 0, to the point 1, and that's the point 1, 1. So point 1 minus point 0, that is our vector, okay? So what is point 1 minus point 0? That will be 1, 1 minus 0, 0. That's 1 minus 0, 1 minus 0. That is 1, 1. Okay, and this is the vector. So generally speaking, the vector will be this distance between 2 points, in this particular case point 1 and point 0. Generally speaking, when we mention a vector like this, okay, we will be always considering that we departed from the origin, from the 0, 0. That in R2, in R3, that will be the origin 0, 0, 0. Okay, let us pick a quick example. Let us say we have point 1, and that will be 0.25, and point Q, and that is point minus 3, 4. Okay, question. What is this vector that we are going to identify with PQ? Okay, so this vector, we can call this vector V, right? So PQ will be minus 3 minus 2 and 4, this 4 minus 5, right? So this will be minus 5 minus 1. Okay, so this is vector V, where vector V is nothing else but the distance between the point P and a point Q. These 2 points that we used in this example, and we can call it example 1, P and Q, they are obviously points in R2. Okay, I picked a quick example of 2 points in R3, point P 1 minus 2 4, point Q 6 0 minus 3. So the vector V, that will be PQ, right? Vector V will be 6 minus 1, 0 minus minus 2, minus 3 minus 4, and that will be vector 5 2 minus 7. Okay, so this is also a vector in R3.